Psychology of Relationships. Love, Conflict, and Connection. Introduction. Understanding the Science of Human Connection. Relationships are at the heart of our human experience. From the joy of first love to the pain of conflict, our connections with others shape our lives in profound ways. Whether we realize it or not, every friendship, family bond, romantic relationship, and even our brief interactions with strangers are influenced by deep psychological mechanisms. But understanding these connections isn't always simple. Many of us experience frustration, miscommunication, and even heartbreak, wondering why love and closeness can sometimes feel so challenging. This book, The Psychology of Relationships. Love, Conflict, and Connection, aims to bridge the gap between our desire for fulfilling relationships and the science that helps explain how they work. By exploring the inner workings of relationships, we'll delve into what attracts us to each other, how we communicate and build trust, and what makes some bonds resilient while others falter. In today's fast-paced world, it's easy to lose sight of the fundamentals that make relationships thrive. Many of us juggle work, personal ambitions, and daily stressors, often placing our relationships on the back burner. This book will help you reconnect with the essential elements of love and connection, illuminating topics like attachment styles, love languages, and emotional intelligence. Together, these insights can help you gain clarity on your own relationship patterns and uncover tools for healthier, more satisfying connections. As you journey through these pages, you'll find practical advice supported by psychological research and real-world examples. Our goal isn't just to help you understand relationships better but to provide actionable insights for creating and maintaining the fulfilling connections you seek. Each chapter is designed to offer a fresh perspective, inspiring reflection and empowering you to foster love, trust, and resilience in all your relationships. Let's embark on this exploration of love and connection, one that aims to deepen your understanding of yourself and those you care about most. By the end, you'll have not only a richer knowledge of relationship psychology but also practical steps to cultivate meaningful, lasting bonds. Chapter 1. The Foundations of Love. Biological and psychological factors that drive attraction. Love is a complex, multifaceted emotion that has inspired poetry, art, and endless philosophical debates throughout history. But behind its mystery lies a wealth of psychological and biological mechanisms that help explain why we're drawn to others. In this chapter, we'll explore the foundational elements that drive attraction, bonding, and love, uncovering the deep-rooted factors that influence how we connect with others. The science of attraction. How chemistry influences love. When we talk about chemistry in a relationship, we often refer to a sense of connection or a spark that draws us toward someone. Interestingly, this concept has a literal foundation. Research in neuroscience and biology shows that when we feel attraction, our brains release powerful chemicals, including dopamine, oxytocin, and serotonin. These feel-good hormones stimulate pleasure centers in the brain, making us feel excited, focused, and even a bit euphoric around the object of our affection. But this chemical attraction isn't random. Studies suggest that our sense of attraction is influenced by a combination of genetic, hormonal, and psychological factors. For instance, some scientists propose that we're subconsciously drawn to people with genetic traits that would increase our offspring's chances of survival. Evolutionary psychology posits that certain traits, like physical symmetry, warmth, and confidence, signal health and vitality, making them universally appealing. Interestingly, smell also plays a significant role in attraction. Research on pheromones, the scent-based chemical signals we emit, suggests that we may be drawn to partners whose immune system genes differ from our own. This opposites attract phenomenon may enhance offspring immunity, and our brains may interpret these complementary immune profiles as attractive on a subconscious level. Psychological factors. The role of similarity and familiarity. While biology sets the stage for attraction, psychology shapes how it unfolds. One of the most powerful predictors of attraction is similarity. Humans are naturally inclined to feel comfortable with people who share our interests, values, and backgrounds. Psychologists call this the similarity attraction effect, a phenomenon that highlights how shared experiences and perspectives can create a strong foundation for connection. Relationships built on common ground are often more resilient and satisfying because they allow for a shared sense of understanding. Equally important is the concept of familiarity. Studies show that people are more likely to feel attracted to those they see regularly, a phenomenon known as the mere exposure effect. Familiarity breeds comfort, making it easier for us to feel safe and connected. This is why people often develop romantic feelings for colleagues, friends, or even people they see at the same coffee shop every day. The more we see someone, the more likely we are to find them appealing. The impact of attachment styles on attraction. Our attachment style, the way we bond with others, plays a crucial role in determining the types of relationships we seek. Developed in childhood based on our earliest experiences with caregivers, attachment styles can range from secure to anxious, avoidant, or even a mix of both. People with a secure attachment style often feel comfortable with intimacy and tend to form stable relationships. Those with anxious attachment may feel intense attraction but struggle with insecurity and fear of abandonment, while avoidant individuals may resist closeness, finding themselves drawn to partners who value independence. Understanding your attachment style can offer profound insights into why you're attracted to certain types of people and how you navigate intimacy. This knowledge empowers you to recognize potential patterns in your relationships, allowing you to make more intentional choices in your connections. Social and cultural influences on love. In addition to biological and psychological factors, our understanding of love is profoundly shaped by societal and cultural influences. Cultural norms and media portrayals play a significant role in shaping our ideals of love and partnership. In many Western societies, romantic love is idealized, with emphasis on passion, individualism, and freedom of choice. By contrast, other cultures may prioritize compatibility, family approval, and shared goals, sometimes favoring arranged marriages or valuing long-term stability over initial attraction. This variation in cultural perspectives shows that love is not a one-size-fits-all concept. Being aware of how societal expectations impact our beliefs about love can help us reflect critically on our own expectations. Are our desires based on what we genuinely want, or have we absorbed them from the media, family, or societal norms? Unpacking initial attraction versus long-term connection. While initial attraction is crucial, it doesn't guarantee a lasting relationship. Initial attraction may feel intense, but as time goes on, other factors like emotional compatibility, communication, and shared values take precedence. Long-term love requires nurturing, growth, and mutual respect, qualities that may not be apparent during the initial stages of attraction. The transition from initial infatuation to long-term connection is often where relationships succeed or fail. Couples who successfully navigate this phase tend to develop what psychologists call companionate love, a deep, enduring affection that emphasizes support, friendship, and shared goals. Companionate love requires intentional effort, communication, and a willingness to grow together. Practical exercises to deepen connection. To better understand attraction and connection, here are some exercises that can offer insight into your preferences and help strengthen existing relationships. 1. Reflect on past relationships. Take time to identify patterns in past relationships. Consider what initially attracted you to each partner and whether those qualities remained important over time. This can help you understand which traits you truly value. 2. Identify your attachment style. By exploring your attachment style, you can gain a deeper understanding of how you approach relationships. Many online tools and quizzes can guide you in identifying whether you lean towards secure, anxious, or avoidant attachment, shedding light on potential areas for growth. 3. Explore shared interests. Engage in activities with your partner that highlight shared interests. Whether it's cooking, hiking, or a shared hobby, building familiarity around common activities can strengthen your bond. 4. Discuss cultural influences. Talk with your partner about how family, media, or cultural norms have influenced your ideas about relationships. Understanding each other's perspectives can help you build a stronger, more open relationship. Building a foundation for love and connection. The foundations of love go beyond mere attraction, requiring a blend of chemistry, shared values, and emotional understanding. By learning about the psychological and biological factors that drive attraction, we gain a clearer perspective on what makes relationships meaningful and how we can nurture them for lasting satisfaction. In the following chapters, we'll build on this foundation, delving deeper into the role of communication, trust, conflict resolution, and emotional intimacy in creating fulfilling relationships. Each layer offers new insights into the psychology of love, empowering you to cultivate the meaningful connections you seek. Chapter 2: Attachment Styles and Their Impact. How our early relationships shape adult connections. Attachment theory, originally developed by psychologist John Bowlby, has become a cornerstone in understanding how our early relationships shape our approach to love, intimacy, and trust. Attachment styles are the emotional blueprints we develop in childhood, guiding our expectations, behaviors, and interactions in close relationships. In this chapter, we'll explore the core types of attachment styles: secure, anxious, avoidant, and disorganized, and examine how they influence our adult relationships. By understanding these attachment styles, we can uncover patterns in our relationships and make conscious choices that lead to healthier, more fulfilling connections. The roots of attachment: early bonds and their lasting influence. From birth, humans are wired for connection. Babies instinctively seek closeness to their caregivers, relying on them for comfort, safety, and love. This primal need forms the basis of attachment theory, which posits that the quality of early interactions between a child and their primary caregiver establishes an attachment style. When caregivers are consistently responsive, sensitive, and available, children typically develop a secure attachment. Conversely, inconsistent, neglectful, or overly intrusive caregiving can result in anxious, avoidant, or disorganized attachment styles. The early relationships we form become the framework we carry into adulthood, influencing our romantic relationships, friendships, and even our workplace interactions. For example, someone raised in a consistently nurturing environment may approach relationships with trust, confidence, and emotional stability, while someone with inconsistent caregiving may grapple with insecurity, fear of abandonment, or discomfort with closeness. While these attachment patterns are deeply ingrained, understanding them allows us to make adjustments that lead to healthier, more fulfilling relationships. Secure attachment: the foundation of healthy relationships. Secure attachment is characterized by a sense of safety and confidence in relationships. People with a secure attachment style generally had caregivers who were attentive, reliable, and responsive. As a result, they learned to trust that their needs would be met and developed a stable sense of self-worth. This early foundation fosters confidence in seeking close relationships, expressing needs openly, and handling conflicts constructively. In adulthood, securely attached individuals are comfortable with intimacy and independence. They tend to approach relationships with optimism and trust, valuing both closeness and personal space. They're usually effective communicators, able to express emotions and needs without fear of rejection. In conflict, they're more likely to engage in open dialogue and seek resolution rather than withdrawing or escalating tensions. Because they have a solid foundation of self-worth and trust, they're typically better equipped to handle the ups and downs of relationships. For example, someone with a secure attachment style might respond calmly and supportively when their partner faces stress or hardship. Instead of feeling threatened or overwhelmed, they'll likely feel empathy and offer reassurance, creating a safe space for their partner to express themselves. This behavior fosters trust and deepens connection, making secure attachment a cornerstone of healthy relationships. Anxious attachment: navigating fear and insecurity. Anxious attachment, sometimes called preoccupied attachment, arises when a child's early experiences with caregivers are inconsistent or unpredictable. These caregivers may have alternated between moments of warmth and responsiveness and periods of emotional unavailability, leaving the child uncertain about whether their needs would be met. As a result, people with an anxious attachment style often grow up with heightened sensitivity to rejection, fearing abandonment and craving reassurance. In adult relationships, this insecurity can manifest as a strong desire for closeness paired with intense worry over the relationship's stability. Anxiously attached individuals might seek constant validation from their partner and can experience deep distress when they perceive any sign of withdrawal or disinterest. Small issues may feel amplified, as they often interpret neutral actions as indicators of disinterest or potential rejection. For example, an anxiously attached person might feel anxious if their partner doesn't respond to a text promptly. This delay might trigger feelings of fear and worry, leading them to imagine worst-case scenarios. In attempts to soothe their anxiety, they might reach out repeatedly, seeking reassurance. Unfortunately, this behavior can place pressure on the partner and may inadvertently create the distance they fear. Understanding an anxious attachment style can be a powerful first step toward change. Anxiously attached individuals can work on building self-soothing skills, enhancing self-esteem, and learning to differentiate between perceived and actual threats in relationships. With practice and self-awareness, they can cultivate healthier, more balanced connections. Avoidant attachment, the struggle with closeness. Avoidant attachment, often called dismissive attachment, develops in response to caregiving that is emotionally distant or overly focused on independence. When caregivers are unresponsive to a child's needs for comfort, the child learns to self-soothe and withdraw from seeking external support. This leads to the belief that closeness is unreliable or even uncomfortable, shaping an adult attachment style that values independence over emotional intimacy. People with an avoidant attachment style may enter relationships, but they're typically uncomfortable with emotional vulnerability and tend to keep a degree of emotional distance. They may avoid discussions of feelings, resist dependence, and downplay the importance of relationships, all in an attempt to protect themselves from perceived threats to their autonomy. In conflict, they might withdraw, becoming physically or emotionally unavailable, or change the topic to avoid confronting uncomfortable feelings. For instance, an avoidantly attached person might find themselves becoming uncomfortable when their partner expresses deep emotions or seeks reassurance. They may respond by minimizing the situation, subtly distancing themselves, or dismissing the importance of closeness, which can create misunderstandings and frustration for both partners. Avoidant attachment isn't a permanent barrier to closeness. With self-awareness, avoidantly attached individuals can learn to recognize and challenge their fears around intimacy. Gradually practicing vulnerability, being open to expressing emotions, and finding a partner who respects their need for space can lead to more fulfilling relationships. Disorganized attachment, the complex cycle of fear and longing. Disorganized attachment, the rarest and most complex attachment style, develops in children who experience abuse, trauma, or chaotic caregiving. This style is marked by a deep internal conflict, a desire for closeness mixed with a profound fear of it. These individuals may have endured frightening or inconsistent caregiving, leaving them unable to form a coherent attachment strategy. As a result, they may feel torn between seeking connection and fearing it, often cycling between intense closeness and withdrawal. In adulthood, disorganized attachment can make relationships incredibly challenging. People with this attachment style may experience intense emotions and impulsive behaviors, feeling overwhelmed by intimacy while fearing abandonment. They may unconsciously sabotage relationships or experience difficulty maintaining boundaries. This internal conflict can lead to a roller coaster of emotions, where they alternate between clinging to partners and distancing themselves out of fear of getting hurt. For example, someone with a disorganized attachment style might feel deeply connected to their partner one moment, but suddenly feel the urge to push them away or question the relationship's safety. This unpredictable behavior can create confusion and strain, both for the individual and their partner. Therapy and self-reflection can be invaluable for those with a disorganized attachment style. Working with a mental health professional can help them process unresolved trauma, learn self-regulation strategies, and form healthier ways of relating to others. Over time, they can break the cycle of fear and longing, creating space for more stable and fulfilling connections. Healing and growth, moving towards secure attachment. While attachment styles are deeply rooted, they aren't fixed. With self-awareness, commitment, and a supportive environment, individuals can shift towards a more secure attachment style. By recognizing patterns in our behavior, understanding the underlying fears that drive them, and practicing new ways of connecting, we can gradually reshape our approach to relationships. Building a secure attachment takes time and patience. For those with anxious attachment, it may mean learning to find comfort in moments of independence, reassuring themselves instead of relying solely on external validation. Those with avoidant attachment might work on allowing themselves to be vulnerable, testing the waters of emotional intimacy one step at a time. And for those with disorganized attachment, the journey may involve confronting past trauma and establishing boundaries that help them feel safe and grounded in their relationships. A partner's influence can be significant in this healing process. People who are securely attached or willing to work towards a secure style can model healthy behaviors, showing their partners that intimacy and independence can coexist harmoniously. Positive experiences in close relationships can be profoundly healing, allowing us to rewrite old narratives and embrace a more balanced approach to love and connection. Understanding attachment as a pathway to connection. Attachment theory provides a powerful framework for understanding the dynamics of our relationships, but it's only the beginning. By recognizing and understanding our own attachment style, we open the door to growth and healing, giving ourselves the opportunity to approach love with greater self-awareness and compassion. Rather than being defined by our past, we can take active steps toward building secure, fulfilling relationships based on trust, respect, and open communication. Chapter 3: The Language of Love. Exploring love languages and effective communication. Human beings are naturally drawn to connection, but connecting in meaningful ways often requires more than just shared time and conversation. Each of us has a unique way of giving and receiving love, a personal language that feels most fulfilling to us in relationships. This concept, popularized as love languages by Dr. Gary Chapman, reveals that while we may all want love, we might not recognize or feel it unless it's expressed in a way that resonates with us. In this chapter, we'll explore the nature of love languages and how understanding them can transform our relationships. We'll see how these languages go beyond words, impacting the very foundation of how we perceive love and connection. By understanding both our own and our partner's love languages, we unlock the potential for deeper communication, empathy, and satisfaction in our relationships. Understanding love languages, the core of emotional connection. The idea of love languages is based on the insight that love is not simply felt but communicated through specific actions and expressions. For some, love is shown through words of affirmation. Hearing "I love you" or "I'm proud of you" might make them feel cherished and valued. For others, love is expressed through acts of service, such as when a partner helps with tasks, goes out of their way to offer assistance, or simply lightens the load of daily responsibilities. These expressions can be seen as a language because, like any language, they involve a sender and a receiver who both need to understand what's being communicated. Problems arise when people express love in ways that don't resonate with their partner. A person who values physical touch, for example, might feel disconnected if their partner primarily shows love through words or gifts, missing the physical closeness they crave. When love languages are mismatched, each partner can feel underappreciated or misunderstood, even if love is genuinely present. Chapman's concept identifies 5 primary love languages: words of affirmation, acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, and physical touch, each providing a framework to understand how we feel most loved and valued. Recognizing that we all have different love languages offers a powerful shift in perspective, encouraging us to step out of our comfort zones to connect with our partners in the ways that mean the most to them. Words of affirmation, the power of spoken love. For some people, love is best expressed through verbal acknowledgement and praise. Words of affirmation involve direct expressions of affection, appreciation, and encouragement, often making a person feel seen and valued. For someone with this love language, compliments, affirmations, or even a simple thank you can be incredibly meaningful. It's not just about hearing "I love you," but also about hearing what their partner appreciates about them, like "I really admire your kindness" or "You're so thoughtful." When words of affirmation are someone's primary love language, silence or criticism can feel especially painful. A lack of verbal affirmation can create a sense of distance or insecurity, leaving them questioning the stability of the relationship. Partners of those who value words of affirmation can enrich the connection by making a conscious effort to share their thoughts and feelings regularly, offering specific compliments, encouragement, and verbal appreciation. The challenge for many is that words of affirmation require a degree of vulnerability. Sharing feelings openly may feel uncomfortable, particularly for those who didn't grow up in environments where praise or verbal affection was common. However, learning to give these affirmations can have a profound impact on a relationship, fostering a sense of safety and closeness that verbal communicators deeply appreciate. Acts of service, showing love through actions. In contrast to verbal expressions, those who resonate with acts of service feel most loved when their partner helps them in practical, tangible ways. For these individuals, love is demonstrated through actions. Whether it's making dinner, taking care of household tasks, running errands, or helping out during a stressful time. To them, these actions show commitment, thoughtfulness, and care, proving that their partner is willing to invest effort in making life a little easier or more enjoyable. People who value acts of service often perceive actions as louder than words. They might not feel as touched by "I love you" as they would by a spontaneous gesture like making them breakfast or helping with a project. For them, these acts communicate "I see you, I understand what you need, and I'm here for you." However, miscommunication often arises when a partner doesn't realize the importance of these actions. Someone who doesn't value acts of service may underestimate their impact, thinking, "Why should cooking a meal matter more than saying I love you?" But when a partner makes the effort to contribute in ways that align with their loved one's needs, it becomes a powerful expression of love. This love language emphasizes the importance of showing up in practical ways that demonstrate reliability and commitment. Receiving gifts, the symbolic nature of tokens of affection. For those who appreciate the love language of receiving gifts, it's not about the monetary value of the gift itself but the thought and effort behind it. A carefully chosen gift symbolizes thoughtfulness, care, and understanding, making the recipient feel recognized and valued. For these individuals, gifts serve as tangible reminders of love, creating lasting emotional connections. People who value receiving gifts often cherish the sentiment that a partner thought of them, even when they weren't physically together. It could be as simple as a small token from a trip, a handwritten note, or a surprise coffee on a tough day. These gestures become keepsakes that evoke memories and reinforce the feeling of being cherished. Misunderstandings can arise when gift-giving is seen as materialistic by someone who doesn't understand the meaning behind it. But for those who value this love language, the gift represents thoughtfulness and attention. Partners can make a meaningful impact by observing what brings joy to their loved one and choosing gifts that reflect their personality, interests, or shared memories. Quality time, the importance of focused presence. Quality time as a love language is centered on undivided attention and meaningful presence. For individuals who value this form of connection, there is nothing more important than knowing they have their partner's full attention. Whether it's sharing a meal, going for a walk, or simply talking without distractions, quality time means actively engaging with each other without interruptions. In today's fast-paced, technology-driven world, quality time has become increasingly precious. Distractions from smartphones, social media, and work commitments can leave people feeling disconnected, even in the same room. For those whose love language is quality time, these interruptions can feel like a dismissal of their need for closeness. They value connection through shared experiences and meaningful conversation, which reinforces intimacy and makes them feel prioritized. This love language highlights the importance of presence over productivity, urging partners to slow down and enjoy each other's company. Prioritizing quality time requires commitment and intentionality, but it's deeply fulfilling for those who long for undivided attention and shared experiences. Physical touch, the comfort of closeness. For some, love is best communicated through physical touch. Physical contact, like holding hands, hugging, or simply sitting close, provides a sense of security, warmth, and intimacy that words or actions cannot replicate. People with this love language view touch as a powerful connector that transcends verbal expression. Physical touch is a primal form of communication, one that begins in infancy and remains deeply significant throughout our lives. Holding hands, a gentle touch on the arm, or a reassuring hug can convey comfort and reassurance, making the person feel safe and valued. Physical touch also releases oxytocin, known as the glove hormone, which fosters bonding and a sense of emotional closeness. However, misunderstandings around physical touch often arise when one partner values it more than the other. For someone who doesn't need physical closeness to feel loved, it may seem unnecessary or even uncomfortable. But when partners learn to respect each other's comfort zones and physical needs, they can create a balanced connection that respects boundaries and fulfills the need for closeness. Bridging differences. Navigating love languages and relationships. One of the most valuable aspects of understanding love languages is the ability to bridge differences. It's common for partners to have different love languages, but this difference doesn't have to be a source of conflict. Instead, it offers an opportunity for growth and deeper connection. Recognizing your partner's love language invites you to step outside of your own preferences and make a conscious effort to connect in a way that resonates with them. This willingness to adapt can strengthen trust, empathy, and mutual respect. For instance, if one partner's love language is words of affirmation while the other's is acts of service, there might be moments of frustration. The first partner may feel loved when they hear, "I appreciate you," while the second may feel most valued when help is offered around the house. In this scenario, each partner can make a conscious effort to speak the other's love language by combining words with actions, creating a dynamic that satisfies both individuals. Communication is key to understanding and honoring each other's needs. Talking openly about love languages, listening to each other's preferences, and being willing to adapt can transform how we experience and express love. While no one should feel pressured to conform to a language that feels unnatural, making small gestures that resonate with a partner's love language can be deeply impactful. Love languages as an ongoing practice. Learning to speak a partner's love language isn't a one-time task but an ongoing practice of understanding and adjustment. Our love languages can evolve over time as our needs, priorities, and life circumstances change. A person who once valued quality time might find themselves craving words of affirmation during a challenging period, or someone who appreciated physical touch may come to value acts of service when life becomes overwhelming. Maintaining a fulfilling relationship means checking in with each other, adapting, and recognizing that expressions of love can shift as we grow and change. Love languages offer a way to continually refresh our understanding of each other, keeping the relationship alive, responsive, and deeply connected. Embracing the power of connection through love languages. The concept of love languages is more than a tool for relationship improvement. It's a framework for understanding how we, as individuals, interpret love and connection. Each love language offers a path to emotional intimacy, helping us see and honor the unique ways our partners feel valued and appreciated. By embracing love languages, we expand our capacity to love thoughtfully, choosing actions and words that resonate deeply with those we care about. This understanding doesn't just enhance romantic relationships but can enrich all forms of connection, from family bonds to friendships. With each effort to speak another's love language, we affirm our commitment to love not only with intention but with genuine empathy and respect. Chapter 4: Conflict Dynamics in Relationships. Understanding and managing relationship conflicts. Conflict is an inevitable part of any relationship. From minor disagreements to intense arguments, these moments of friction reveal a lot about our individual needs, values, and personalities. Many people view conflict as inherently negative, but when approached thoughtfully, it can serve as a catalyst for growth and deeper understanding between partners. In fact, resolving conflict effectively can strengthen trust and foster greater intimacy, while unresolved or poorly managed conflict can create emotional distance and resentment. In this chapter, we will explore the psychology of conflict, examining common patterns that arise in relationships, the factors that influence how we handle disagreements, and the tools we can use to navigate conflicts constructively. By understanding the underlying dynamics of conflict, we gain the ability to approach it not as something to avoid, but as a pathway to connection and growth. The psychology of conflict. Why differences lead to disagreements. Conflict often stems from differences in values, expectations, communication styles, or emotional needs. These differences don't necessarily signify a lack of compatibility. Rather, they are a natural consequence of bringing together two individuals with unique backgrounds, personalities, and life experiences. When partners have diverging expectations or interpretations, it's easy for misunderstandings to escalate into frustration or resentment. At the core of many conflicts lies an unmet need. A person may feel unappreciated, unheard, or insecure, and these feelings, if not addressed, can lead to conflict. Often, the specific issue being argued about, whether it's dishes left in the sink or a forgotten anniversary, is less important than the underlying emotion or need driving the argument. Recognizing the root cause of a disagreement, rather than fixating on the surface issue, is essential for effective conflict resolution. For example, a partner might feel upset because they perceive that their efforts to maintain the household are not appreciated. The ensuing conflict may appear to be about chores, but beneath that surface issue lies a need for acknowledgement and respect. Addressing this underlying need is far more likely to resolve the conflict and prevent it from recurring than simply dividing household tasks differently. Attachment styles and conflict. How our early relationships shape our reactions. Our approach to conflict is heavily influenced by our attachment styles, as discussed in the previous chapter. Individuals with secure attachment styles often handle conflict with resilience, addressing issues openly and with a sense of stability. They trust that disagreements are temporary and can be resolved through communication. However, individuals with anxious or avoidant attachment styles may react differently. Those with anxious attachment might feel heightened sensitivity to conflict, fearing that disagreements signal instability or rejection. They may seek immediate reassurance and can become highly emotional, interpreting a partner's silence or temporary withdrawal as a sign of impending abandonment. On the other hand, people with avoidant attachment may feel overwhelmed by conflict, leading them to shut down or withdraw to protect themselves from perceived vulnerability. Understanding your attachment style and that of your partner can be invaluable in navigating conflicts. For instance, if you know that your partner has an avoidant attachment style, recognizing that their withdrawal is not necessarily a rejection of you but rather a coping mechanism can reduce feelings of insecurity. Similarly, a partner aware of their own anxious tendencies can work on calming strategies to help reduce the intensity of their emotional responses during conflict. The role of communication styles in conflict. Communication styles also play a critical role in how we approach conflict. Some people are direct communicators, expressing their feelings and needs clearly and assertively, while others may be more indirect, hinting at issues or expecting their partner to just know what's wrong. These differing styles can create friction. A direct communicator may feel frustrated by a partner's ambiguity, while an indirect communicator may feel overwhelmed by direct confrontation. Dr. John Gottman, a renowned psychologist specializing in relationship dynamics, identified 4 communication patterns that are particularly damaging in conflict: criticism, contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling, which he calls the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Each of these behaviors can erode trust and intimacy over time, making conflict more destructive. Here's how they typically unfold. Criticism involves attacking a partner's character instead of focusing on specific behaviors. Instead of saying, "I feel overwhelmed when I have to do the dishes alone," criticism might sound like, "You never help around the house. You're so lazy." Contempt goes a step further, involving sarcasm, mocking, or belittling the partner. This behavior can create feelings of resentment and erode respect, which are essential for healthy relationships. Defensiveness is a protective reaction that involves shifting blame or making excuses, often because the individual feels attacked. Defensiveness can prevent productive communication by deflecting the focus away from the issue at hand. Stonewalling occurs when one partner shuts down emotionally, withdrawing from the interaction entirely. This behavior can make the other partner feel dismissed or ignored, leading to a breakdown in communication. Recognizing these behaviors in ourselves and in our partners can help us avoid falling into destructive communication patterns. Practicing more constructive communication techniques, like expressing feelings through I statements, e.g., "I feel unappreciated when," actively listening and taking responsibility for one's actions, can foster a healthier approach to conflict. The impact of stress on conflict escalation. External stressors such as financial pressures, work challenges, or family obligations can significantly impact conflict in relationships. When stress levels are high, people often have less patience, lower emotional resilience, and a diminished capacity for empathy. This can cause minor disagreements to escalate into full-blown arguments. Stress also affects our physical responses to conflict. When we're stressed, our bodies release cortisol, the stress hormone, which can trigger a fight or flight response. This reaction prepares us to confront or flee from perceived threats, but in the context of a relationship, it can lead to heightened anger, defensiveness, or withdrawal. In this heightened state, it's harder to listen actively or think rationally, often leading to impulsive or hurtful remarks that might not reflect our true feelings. Recognizing when stress is affecting a conflict can help both partners step back and take a moment to calm down. Practices like deep breathing, pausing before responding, or taking a short break to cool off can make a significant difference in managing conflict more constructively. Constructive conflict. Embracing conflict as a path to growth. Constructive conflict involves addressing disagreements in a way that fosters understanding, respect, and empathy. Rather than viewing conflict as a zero-sum game where one partner must win and the other lose, constructive conflict is about collaboration, finding solutions that honor both partners' needs and perspectives. One effective approach to constructive conflict is active listening, a technique that involves fully focusing on what the other person is saying without interrupting or planning your own response. Active listening requires empathy, encouraging partners to try to understand the feelings behind their partner's words rather than jumping to conclusions or rebuttals. When one partner feels truly heard and validated, they're more likely to reciprocate, creating a cycle of empathy and understanding. Another key aspect of constructive conflict is expressing feelings openly but respectfully. Using I statements such as "I feel hurt when," or "I need more support with," keeps the focus on one's own experience rather than placing blame. This allows both partners to understand each other's needs without feeling attacked or defensive. Constructive conflict also involves a willingness to compromise. Compromise doesn't mean one partner gives in completely, but rather that both partners consider each other's perspectives and find a middle ground. This could mean making small adjustments, like sharing chores differently or dedicating specific times to check in with each other emotionally. Compromise reinforces the message that both partners' needs are valued, fostering a sense of teamwork and mutual respect. Repairing after conflict. The importance of reconciliation and forgiveness. Conflict is often unavoidable, but reconciliation is crucial for maintaining a healthy relationship. After a disagreement, taking steps to repair the connection can make a significant difference in how each partner feels about the relationship. Repairing doesn't mean ignoring or sweeping the conflict under the rug. It means acknowledging hurt feelings, taking responsibility for one's actions, and genuinely seeking to understand the other's perspective. Forgiveness is a powerful aspect of reconciliation, allowing both partners to move forward without holding on to resentment. True forgiveness involves letting go of lingering hurt or anger and committing to work together for a better future. However, it's important that forgiveness is not forced or used to bypass accountability. Each partner must feel heard and validated for reconciliation to be genuine. Creating rituals of repair, such as a short conversation to check in after a conflict or an expression of appreciation, can be effective ways to restore emotional closeness. Even a simple act of kindness, like holding hands or making a small gesture of affection, can communicate love and a desire to move forward positively. Embracing conflict as a constructive force. Conflict may be one of the most challenging aspects of any relationship, but it's also one of the most revealing. Through conflict, we come to understand our partners and ourselves more deeply, discovering what matters most to each of us and learning how to bridge differences with empathy and respect. Rather than fearing conflict, approaching it with openness and a willingness to grow allows us to strengthen the foundation of trust and understanding in our relationships. By embracing conflict as an opportunity for growth, we transform it from a source of division into a means of connection. Learning to manage disagreements constructively, practicing active listening, and embracing reconciliation helps us create relationships that are resilient, compassionate, and equipped to handle the complexities of love and life together. Chapter 5: Trust and Vulnerability. Building trust and embracing vulnerability for deeper bonds. Trust and vulnerability are the foundation of any meaningful relationship. Without them, it's nearly impossible to feel safe, secure, or connected with another person. While love often sparks a relationship, trust sustains it. Building and maintaining trust requires consistency, honesty, and the willingness to show parts of ourselves that we may normally keep hidden. Vulnerability, on the other hand, is the courage to be seen as we truly are, flaws, fears, and all, knowing that we're opening ourselves up to the possibility of hurt. Yet, paradoxically, vulnerability is also the key to intimacy, allowing partners to connect on a level that goes beyond the superficial. In this chapter, we'll delve into what it means to build trust and embrace vulnerability within a relationship. We'll explore how these elements influence closeness, the fears that often hold us back, and the ways in which trust and vulnerability can be nurtured over time. Through understanding the dynamics of trust and the power of vulnerability, we can cultivate deeper, more resilient relationships grounded in emotional security and authentic connection. The essence of trust: more than just honesty. Trust is often thought of as a simple matter of honesty, telling the truth and avoiding deceit. However, trust goes far beyond honesty alone. It involves reliability, consistency, and a commitment to the well-being of one's partner. Trust means that each person in the relationship can feel confident in the other's loyalty, care, and respect. This confidence provides a sense of emotional safety, allowing each partner to express themselves openly without fear of judgment or betrayal. In relationships, trust can be divided into two primary forms: predictability and emotional trust. Predictability refers to the sense that a partner's actions align with their words over time. For example, if a partner commits to meeting for dinner after work, predictability is knowing that they'll either arrive or communicate if something prevents them from being there. This consistency fosters a sense of reliability, assuring each person that they can count on each other. Emotional trust, however, delves deeper. It's the assurance that your partner has your best interests at heart, that they won't intentionally hurt you or use your vulnerabilities against you. Emotional trust allows for vulnerability, knowing that your partner respects and values your feelings, even during moments of disagreement. Without emotional trust, vulnerability feels risky and unsafe, leading partners to withhold parts of themselves, which can stifle intimacy and hinder growth. The vulnerability paradox: opening up despite fear. Vulnerability is the gateway to closeness. Yet, paradoxically, the very act of opening up feels frightening for many people. To be vulnerable is to reveal our innermost thoughts, fears, and insecurities, knowing that this openness makes us more susceptible to hurt or rejection. But without vulnerability, true intimacy cannot exist. Relationships that lack vulnerability often feel distant or superficial, with both partners avoiding deeper levels of connection out of fear of being hurt. The root of this fear often lies in our past experiences. For those who have faced betrayal, rejection, or abandonment, vulnerability can feel especially daunting. When we've been hurt in the past, our natural reaction is to protect ourselves by building walls, minimizing the chances of experiencing similar pain again. This defense mechanism, while understandable, can prevent us from forming meaningful connections, leaving us feeling lonely even when we're physically close to others. Embracing vulnerability requires courage, the courage to risk being seen for who we truly are. It involves sharing our fears, insecurities, and dreams, trusting that our partner will respond with empathy and acceptance. This openness creates a powerful bond, allowing both partners to feel seen, valued, and understood. When both individuals commit to vulnerability, they foster an environment where authentic connection can thrive, unencumbered by pretense or defensiveness. Building trust: a gradual process. Trust isn't built overnight, it's cultivated through countless small actions and moments of honesty, respect, and care. Each time we honor our commitments, show up for our partner, or offer support during challenging times, we strengthen the foundation of trust. Consistency in these behaviors communicates to our partner that we are reliable and dependable, creating a sense of stability that enhances emotional safety. One of the most effective ways to build trust is through transparent communication. Transparency means being open about both the big and small aspects of our lives, sharing our thoughts, feelings, and intentions honestly. For instance, if a partner feels stressed or overwhelmed, sharing these emotions, even if they seem minor, builds a sense of openness that reinforces trust. Conversely, withholding emotions or hiding struggles can create a sense of distance, leaving the other partner feeling disconnected or unsure of where they stand. Another critical component of trust building is accountability. Inevitably, there will be times when we make mistakes or fail to meet expectations. In these moments, taking responsibility, apologizing sincerely, and making amends are essential to maintaining trust. When we acknowledge our errors openly, rather than making excuses or shifting blame, we demonstrate respect for our partner and commitment to the relationship. Over time, this accountability fosters resilience, helping the relationship weather challenges and come out stronger. Trust and boundaries, respecting each other's limits. Boundaries are an often overlooked aspect of trust. They define where one person ends and the other begins, allowing each partner to maintain their individuality while being in a relationship. Healthy boundaries protect each person's emotional well-being, creating a safe space in which trust can flourish. Boundaries communicate respect for each other's needs, preferences, and limits, reinforcing the idea that love doesn't mean giving up oneself. Establishing and respecting boundaries involves clear and compassionate communication. It's about discussing what each partner is comfortable with, whether that involves personal space, social interactions, or even topics that may feel sensitive. For instance, one partner may need alone time after a long day, while the other might prefer to unwind together. By respecting these preferences without judgment or resentment, each person feels honored and valued, strengthening trust. Boundaries are not static. They evolve as the relationship grows. Regular check-ins about each other's comfort zones ensure that both partners feel respected, helping prevent misunderstandings and resentment. Trust grows when each partner feels confident that their boundaries will be honored and that their individuality will be respected within the relationship. Rebuilding trust after it's broken. While ideally, trust is maintained over time, there are instances when it may be compromised due to dishonesty, betrayal, or other hurtful actions. Rebuilding trust after it's broken is a challenging but not impossible process. The key lies in both partners' willingness to engage in open dialogue, patience, and consistent efforts to repair the bond. For the person who has broken the trust, taking accountability and showing genuine remorse are essential first steps. This means acknowledging the hurt they've caused, understanding its impact, and committing to corrective actions without pressuring the hurt partner to move on prematurely. True remorse involves empathy and a willingness to listen to the hurt partner's feelings without defensiveness, recognizing that healing will take time. For the partner who has been hurt, rebuilding trust requires gradual openness to the idea of forgiveness. This doesn't mean forgetting the transgression or rushing the healing process. Instead, it involves a willingness to re-engage in the relationship with a spirit of understanding and a desire to heal. Forgiveness can be challenging, especially when the hurt runs deep, but it's a necessary step if both partners wish to move forward. In the process of rebuilding trust, both partners can benefit from revisiting their initial commitments, clarifying boundaries, and finding ways to strengthen emotional safety. Counseling or therapy can be an invaluable resource, providing guidance and facilitating conversations that might feel too intense to navigate alone. Rebuilding trust is a journey that requires time, effort, and resilience, but it's also an opportunity for renewed growth and understanding. The role of vulnerability in deepening trust. Vulnerability and trust exist in a mutual cycle. When we allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we deepen our partner's trust by revealing our true selves. This openness invites our partner to do the same, creating a shared space of emotional honesty. As partners become increasingly vulnerable with each other, trust strengthens, fostering a relationship built on authenticity rather than pretense. Opening up about insecurities, dreams, or past experiences invites a deeper level of connection, allowing both partners to feel more intimately connected. For instance, sharing childhood experiences that shaped one's personality or explaining the root of a particular fear creates empathy and understanding, inviting the other partner to respond with compassion. In relationships where trust is solid, vulnerability becomes a tool for growth. Partners can support each other's personal journeys, offering encouragement and understanding as they navigate life's challenges. This mutual support not only deepens the bond but also creates a relationship dynamic where both individuals can thrive individually and together. Embracing vulnerability and trust as a lifelong practice. Building and maintaining trust, like vulnerability, is not a one-time achievement but an ongoing practice. Relationships evolve, and so do the needs, boundaries, and trust requirements of each partner. Regular check-ins, open communication, and an unwavering commitment to transparency and respect help ensure that trust remains strong, even as circumstances change. For instance, during periods of significant life transitions, such as moving, career changes, or parenthood, trust and vulnerability become particularly essential. These moments often bring stress and uncertainty, challenging the stability of even the strongest relationships. By maintaining a foundation of trust and a willingness to be vulnerable, partners can face these challenges together, fostering resilience and adaptability. Even when things are going smoothly, revisiting the principles of trust and vulnerability keeps the relationship vibrant. Sharing aspirations, revisiting shared goals, and discussing each other's evolving dreams and desires reinforce the connection, allowing the relationship to grow in depth and richness. The power of trust and vulnerability in building lasting bonds. Trust and vulnerability are the lifeblood of meaningful, lasting relationships. They allow us to connect deeply, offering us the chance to be loved for who we truly are, rather than for the personas we may wear in the outside world. While both trust and vulnerability require courage and commitment, they reward us with a sense of closeness, intimacy, and fulfillment that can't be achieved by any other means. By approaching trust as a commitment to consistency, respect, and reliability, we create a secure foundation for our relationships. Embracing vulnerability, on the other hand, invites us to show up fully, offering our partners the chance to connect with our truest selves. Together, trust and vulnerability create a relationship that feels like home, a safe space where we can be fully known, accepted, and loved. Chapter 6: The Role of Emotional Intelligence. Using empathy and self-awareness to improve relationships. Emotional intelligence, EI, is the ability to recognize, understand, and manage our own emotions, while also empathizing with the emotions of others. Often described as the other kind of smart, emotional intelligence shapes our interactions, influences our decisions, and plays a central role in how we connect with others. In relationships, emotional intelligence can mean the difference between discord and harmony, misunderstanding and empathy, disconnection and intimacy. In this chapter, we will explore the components of emotional intelligence: self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, and social skills, and examine how each element contributes to a stronger, more fulfilling relationship. We'll uncover how emotional intelligence helps partners navigate both joyful and challenging moments, allowing them to communicate with compassion, understand each other deeply, and build a connection that is resilient to the trials of life. Self-awareness. Understanding our own emotions. Self-awareness is the foundation of emotional intelligence. It's the ability to recognize our own emotions and understand how they influence our thoughts, behaviors, and interactions. In relationships, self-awareness allows us to identify and acknowledge our emotional responses, even when they may feel overwhelming or difficult to articulate. Being aware of our feelings is the first step toward managing them, and this awareness is essential for navigating complex emotional experiences with our partner. For instance, imagine a partner who feels angry because their significant other forgot an anniversary. A self-aware person might recognize that beneath the anger lies a feeling of hurt or neglect, prompting them to question what this situation triggers within them. Does it bring up a fear of being undervalued? Or does it remind them of a time when they felt overlooked in the past? By identifying the root emotion, they can approach their partner with vulnerability rather than defensiveness, expressing their true feelings instead of lashing out in frustration. Self-awareness also involves an understanding of our triggers. those specific situations or behaviors that provoke strong emotional reactions. Everyone has emotional triggers, often rooted in past experiences, insecurities, or unmet needs. When we're aware of our triggers, we're less likely to react impulsively in the heat of the moment. For example, a person who knows that they feel insecure about commitment may recognize that their partner's busy schedule isn't necessarily a reflection of their love. Instead of reacting with jealousy or resentment, they can reflect on their own insecurities and approach the conversation calmly, fostering open communication rather than creating conflict. Self-regulation, managing our emotions in real time. While self-awareness allows us to identify and understand our emotions, self-regulation is the ability to manage those emotions constructively. Self-regulation means pausing before reacting, calming ourselves when emotions run high, and choosing responses that align with our values and relationship goals. In moments of tension, self-regulation can prevent misunderstandings from escalating into arguments, allowing us to approach our partners with patience and respect. Imagine a partner who feels an urge to snap back when criticized. Instead of reacting impulsively, they practice self-regulation by taking a moment to breathe and calm themselves. They might ask themselves whether the criticism holds any truth, or consider how best to communicate their own perspective. This momentary pause allows them to respond thoughtfully, reducing the risk of hurtful exchanges and creating space for constructive dialogue. Self-regulation also involves recognizing when we need time and space to process difficult emotions. Taking a step back to cool down can prevent reactive responses and create an opportunity for reflection. For example, if a partner feels overwhelmed during a heated discussion, they might request a break with a reassuring statement like, "I'm feeling too emotional to talk about this clearly right now. Can we take a few minutes to collect our thoughts and come back to it?" This approach not only prevents impulsive reactions but also demonstrates respect for both their own and their partner's emotional needs. Emotional regulation doesn't mean suppressing emotions. Instead, it means managing emotions in a way that respects both partners. For instance, if jealousy or frustration arises, acknowledging these feelings rather than denying them can prevent them from festering. Addressing emotions with honesty and patience fosters an environment of trust and understanding, allowing both partners to feel safe in expressing their needs and concerns without fear of judgment or retaliation. Empathy, understanding and sharing your partner's feelings. Empathy is often described as the heart of emotional intelligence. It's the ability to put ourselves in another person's shoes, to feel what they feel, and to respond with understanding and compassion. In relationships, empathy is essential because it allows us to connect with our partner's experiences, even when we may not fully understand or agree with their perspective. When we empathize, we show our partner that their feelings matter to us, creating an emotional bond that is deeply reassuring and validating. Empathy involves both active listening and a willingness to suspend judgment. Active listening means giving our full attention without interrupting, and truly focusing on what our partner is saying. Instead of thinking about how we're going to respond, we focus on understanding their experience. If a partner is expressing frustration over something that seems trivial, empathy allows us to consider what might be beneath their feelings, rather than dismissing them. By listening with curiosity, we can often uncover underlying emotions or needs that may not be immediately apparent. For example, if one partner is feeling stressed about work, empathy allows the other partner to listen without jumping in to offer solutions or minimizing their feelings. Instead, they might say, "It sounds like you're feeling overwhelmed with all the expectations at work. That must be really hard." This acknowledgement of feelings provides comfort and reassurance, allowing the stressed partner to feel heard and understood. Empathy also means respecting our partner's emotional responses, even when they seem different from our own. We each process and express emotions in unique ways, influenced by our personality, experiences, and cultural backgrounds. Practicing empathy involves recognizing that our partner's emotional reality is as valid as our own, even if we would respond differently in the same situation. This open-minded approach creates a space where both partners feel safe to express themselves, deepening intimacy and mutual respect. Social skills, building emotional bonds through communication. Social skills are the ability to communicate effectively, resolve conflicts constructively, and foster a positive, collaborative environment within the relationship. They involve not only verbal communication but also nonverbal cues like body language, tone of voice, and facial expressions. Social skills are essential for creating harmony, as they allow partners to navigate both the joyful and challenging aspects of their relationship with grace and understanding. Effective communication lies at the heart of strong social skills. It involves expressing thoughts, needs, and feelings clearly and respectfully, while also being receptive to our partner's expressions. When we communicate openly and honestly, we reduce the risk of misunderstandings and build a foundation of trust. For instance, if a partner needs more quality time, they might express this in a way that invites collaboration rather than blame. "I miss spending time with you. Can we plan a date night soon?" This approach avoids defensiveness, inviting the other partner to participate in finding a solution. Social skills also involve conflict resolution techniques, which are crucial for navigating disagreements without damaging the relationship. Constructive conflict resolution means approaching disagreements as opportunities for growth, rather than as threats. It involves acknowledging both partners' needs and perspectives and finding common ground. For example, if a disagreement arises about finances, partners with strong social skills will focus on collaborative problem-solving rather than assigning blame or shutting down. They might say, "Let's sit down and discuss our budget so we can both feel comfortable and secure with our finances." Nonverbal communication also plays a significant role in social skills. Small gestures, like a reassuring touch, eye contact, or an encouraging smile, can communicate empathy, understanding, and support without words. These subtle cues reinforce the verbal communication, making the partner feel valued and loved on both verbal and nonverbal levels. Recognizing and responding to these cues strengthens emotional connection, fostering a sense of closeness that transcends spoken language. The impact of emotional intelligence on relationship resilience. Emotional intelligence doesn't eliminate challenges in a relationship, but it equips partners with the tools to face them constructively. Relationships naturally involve a range of emotions, from joy and passion to frustration and disappointment. Emotional intelligence helps partners navigate these emotions with understanding, compassion, and a commitment to mutual growth. When both partners bring emotional intelligence to their relationship, they create a foundation of resilience. This resilience allows them to handle stressors, such as financial pressures, family dynamics, or major life transitions, without letting these challenges erode their connection. For example, a couple facing a career relocation can approach the situation with empathy and open communication, discussing their hopes, fears, and compromises openly. By addressing each other's needs and validating each other's concerns, they strengthen their bond, even in the face of uncertainty. Emotional intelligence also fosters forgiveness and compassion during difficult moments. In relationships, hurt feelings are inevitable, but emotional intelligence enables partners to acknowledge these feelings without resentment. A partner who practices self-awareness and empathy is more likely to take responsibility for their mistakes and offer genuine apologies. Likewise, a partner with strong empathy and self-regulation can forgive more readily, allowing the relationship to heal rather than holding on to grudges. Cultivating emotional intelligence together. The beauty of emotional intelligence is that it can be developed over time. Even if one or both partners initially struggle with emotional self-awareness or empathy, with practice and patience, these skills can be strengthened. Couples can foster emotional intelligence together by creating a safe space where each partner feels encouraged to express and explore their emotions openly. One powerful way to cultivate emotional intelligence is through emotional check-ins. Regularly setting aside time to share feelings, discuss challenges, and celebrate successes fosters a habit of open communication. During these check-ins, partners can ask each other reflective questions, such as, "How have you been feeling lately?" Or, "Is there anything that's been on your mind that we haven't talked about?" By making these check-ins a routine, couples reinforce the importance of emotional awareness and empathy in their relationship. Additionally, practicing mindfulness can enhance emotional intelligence by cultivating present-moment awareness and reducing reactive behaviors. Mindfulness helps partners stay attuned to their own emotions and better understand their partner's cues, fostering empathy and reducing misunderstandings. For example, a mindful partner might notice the subtle tension in their partner's expression after a long day, allowing them to respond with support rather than ignoring or misinterpreting their partner's needs. Finally, couples can nurture emotional intelligence by embracing a mindset of continuous learning and growth. Relationships are dynamic, and emotional intelligence is not a skill that's ever fully complete. By maintaining an attitude of curiosity, seeking to learn more about their partner's emotions, reactions, and experiences, couples create a space for personal and relational growth. This commitment to understanding each other deeply strengthens emotional bonds and builds a relationship rooted in empathy, respect, and love. Emotional intelligence as the key to lasting connection. Emotional intelligence is the foundation upon which resilient, fulfilling relationships are built. By developing self-awareness, practicing self-regulation, embracing empathy, and honing social skills, couples can navigate the complexities of life and love with greater ease and understanding. Emotional intelligence transforms ordinary interactions into moments of connection, creating a relationship where both partners feel valued, understood, and supported. While emotional intelligence requires effort, patience, and self-reflection, the rewards are profound. Couples who cultivate these skills experience deeper intimacy, stronger communication, and greater resilience, empowering them to face life's challenges hand in hand. As we continue our exploration of relationship psychology, we will turn next to the role of external stressors, examining how factors outside the relationship can impact our connections and learning strategies for navigating life's pressures as a united team. Chapter 7: The Impact of External Stressors. Navigating life's challenges together. Every relationship, no matter how strong, will inevitably encounter stressors that exist beyond the relationship itself. External stressors, like financial pressures, demanding jobs, family obligations, health challenges, or societal expectations, can place a strain on couples. These external forces often come without warning, challenging partners to adapt and support each other through circumstances that are sometimes beyond their control. However, when approached with empathy, communication, and resilience, these challenges can also offer opportunities for growth, fostering a deeper sense of partnership and shared purpose. In this chapter, we'll explore the impact of external stressors on relationships, examine the dynamics that arise when partners face pressures from the outside world, and discuss strategies to help couples navigate these challenges. By understanding how to approach stressors with unity and purpose, partners can build a resilient relationship that not only survives but thrives amidst life's inevitable ups and downs. Understanding the nature of external stressors. External stressors vary widely in scope and impact, ranging from temporary challenges like a tough work week, to life-altering events, like a major illness or career change. While these stressors often come from outside the relationship, their effects seep into the intimate dynamics between partners. When stress is high, people are more likely to experience irritability, fatigue, and emotional reactivity, which can lead to misunderstandings, impatience, and conflict. Understanding the nature of these stressors and recognizing their effects on each partner allows couples to avoid personalizing the impact of stress and instead approach it as a shared challenge. For example, financial stress is one of the most common and challenging external pressures faced by couples. Money, as a tangible resource, affects nearly every aspect of life, from where we live to what we eat, and it often has emotional significance tied to security, stability, and freedom. When finances are tight, partners may experience feelings of fear, shame, or frustration, which can sometimes be misdirected toward each other. Instead of viewing financial hardship as a personal failure or an indication of relationship dissatisfaction, recognizing it as an external challenge can encourage a more supportive, solution-oriented mindset. Similarly, job-related stress can create strain within relationships, especially when one or both partners are dealing with heavy workloads, difficult bosses, or uncertain job security. The emotional exhaustion that comes from work stress often leaves people feeling drained and less capable of being fully present with their partner. When partners are aware of the demands each person faces, They can avoid taking fatigue or lack of engagement personally, understanding that stress often temporarily limits emotional availability. By seeing work stress as an external challenge rather than a personal affront, couples can approach these periods with empathy, patience, and mutual support. The importance of empathy and patience. In times of external stress, empathy and patience are critical. When we empathize with our partner's experiences, we create an environment that is emotionally supportive, helping to buffer the effects of stress. This empathy involves not only recognizing the external stressors but also being attentive to how those stressors might make our partner feel and react. For instance, a partner coping with a demanding workload may feel inadequate or insecure, especially if they're unable to balance work with family responsibilities. Understanding these underlying feelings allows us to respond with compassion, reinforcing that their worth isn't tied to temporary challenges. Patience is another essential component of managing external stressors together. Stress often reduces emotional resilience, making small irritations feel like major issues. Partners who approach these moments with patience provide a stabilizing influence, giving each other the emotional space to process and decompress. This patience also allows for flexibility in expectations. When one partner feels overwhelmed, the other can adjust their expectations for emotional engagement or household responsibilities temporarily, recognizing that stress reduces a person's emotional and mental resources. Patience and empathy aren't always easy to maintain, especially when both partners are under stress. However, practicing these qualities builds a foundation of trust, helping each person feel supported even when they're not at their best. It reinforces the message that the relationship is a safe, understanding place, capable of weathering the challenges brought by external circumstances. Communication as a lifeline during stress. Open communication is perhaps the most valuable tool for couples facing external stressors. Stress often creates a tendency to withdraw or suppress feelings, either to avoid burdening a partner or because one is too overwhelmed to articulate emotions. However, when stress is left unspoken, it can become a silent wedge, creating misunderstandings and emotional distance. By keeping communication open, partners can share their experiences, express their needs, and navigate stress together as a unified team. Expressing emotions openly doesn't mean venting frustrations without consideration. Rather, it involves sharing one's thoughts and feelings in a way that invites understanding rather than defensiveness. For example, instead of saying, "You're never around because of your job," one might say, "I miss spending time together and I know work is demanding. Is there any way we can plan some time for ourselves?" This approach communicates feelings without blame, encouraging a collaborative mindset. Checking in regularly can be especially helpful during stressful periods. These check-ins can be as simple as asking, "How was your day?" or "Is there anything I can do to help support you right now?" These moments create a consistent space for connection, allowing each partner to feel seen and supported. They also serve as reminders that stress doesn't need to be faced alone. It's a shared challenge that both partners can tackle together. When both partners are under pressure, they might also need to clarify each other's needs. One partner might need extra quiet time to recharge, while the other may seek closeness as a way to feel secure. By communicating these needs openly, partners avoid unnecessary frustration and create a supportive dynamic that respects each other's unique coping strategies. The power of unity, facing challenges as a team. External stressors can sometimes create feelings of isolation, with each partner dealing with their own set of challenges independently. However, facing challenges as a unified team transforms the relationship into a source of strength and resilience. This mindset shifts the focus from individual struggles to shared goals, helping each partner feel supported and understood. One way to reinforce this sense of unity is to reframe stressors as shared obstacles. For instance, if a couple is facing financial hardship, they can approach it not as a problem that one person must solve alone but as a challenge to address together. They might set shared financial goals, create a budget as a team, and celebrate each small step toward financial stability. This approach not only reduces the sense of personal burden but also fosters a sense of partnership, reinforcing that they are in it together. Similarly, if one partner is dealing with a demanding job, the other can look for ways to support them in a way that feels collaborative. They might offer to take on a few extra household tasks temporarily or create a relaxing evening routine to help the stressed partner unwind. Small gestures of support strengthen the sense of teamwork, reminding each partner that they are not alone in facing life's pressures. Unity in the face of stress also involves offering reassurance and expressing appreciation for each other's efforts. Simply acknowledging each other's contributions or struggles can have a powerful impact, reinforcing that each person's sacrifices and efforts are seen and valued. These moments of acknowledgement remind each partner that they are working toward shared goals, creating a bond that is strengthened by resilience and mutual respect. Self-care as a shared priority. External stressors can quickly drain a person's emotional and physical energy, leaving them feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or even resentful. During times of heightened stress, self-care becomes not just an individual priority but a relationship priority. Self-care allows each partner to recharge, ensuring they have the energy and patience to support each other effectively. In the context of a relationship, self-care is more than personal wellness. It's a commitment to maintaining the emotional resources needed to nurture the connection. Encouraging each other's self-care can be an act of love and support. Partners can help each other carve out time for activities that replenish them, whether that's a hobby, exercise, meditation, or time with friends. For example, if one partner finds that a weekly yoga class helps them manage stress, the other partner might support this routine by handling the household responsibilities during that time. This support reinforces that each person's well-being is valued, creating a balanced dynamic that respects individual needs within the relationship. Couples can also engage in shared self-care activities, creating a nurturing space for connection and relaxation. Activities like going for a walk, cooking a favorite meal together, or simply setting aside time to unwind without distractions can create moments of closeness and rejuvenation. These shared experiences not only reduce stress but also strengthen the bond, reminding both partners that, even in challenging times, they can find joy and connection together. Recognizing and managing burnout. When external stressors persist over time, both partners can experience burnout, a state of physical, emotional, and mental exhaustion that erodes resilience and patience. Burnout can create a sense of emotional distance, making it difficult to connect or empathize with each other. Recognizing the signs of burnout, such as chronic fatigue, irritability, or a feeling of detachment, can help couples take proactive steps to manage it before it impacts the relationship. If burnout becomes a shared experience, couples may benefit from discussing ways to temporarily ease each other's burdens. For instance, they might decide to simplify their schedules, reduce unnecessary commitments, or seek support from friends, family, or professionals. Couples can also make time for restorative activities that focus on relaxation and connection, creating a buffer against the effects of long-term stress. In some cases, seeking external support, such as couples therapy or counseling, can provide additional tools for coping with burnout. Therapy offers a safe space to process emotions, explore solutions, and develop strategies for managing stress as a team. Having an objective third party can provide perspective and guidance, helping couples build resilience during difficult times. Chapter 8. Intimacy and Emotional Connection. Strengthening closeness and emotional intimacy. Intimacy is often thought of in terms of physical closeness, but true intimacy runs much deeper. Emotional intimacy is the essence of a strong, enduring relationship, offering a bond that provides warmth, security, and a profound sense of belonging. Emotional intimacy involves vulnerability, trust, and a willingness to share parts of ourselves that we may not readily reveal to others. It is through this emotional closeness that partners move beyond surface-level connections, forming a relationship that withstands the test of time. In this chapter, we'll explore the nature of emotional intimacy, how it differs from physical intimacy, and the many ways couples can nurture this essential bond. By understanding the depth of emotional connection, couples can develop a relationship that feels both emotionally fulfilling and deeply meaningful, creating a partnership grounded in genuine closeness and mutual understanding. Understanding emotional intimacy. Emotional intimacy is the feeling of being truly known and accepted by another person. It is created through shared experiences, open communication, and a deep sense of trust. Emotional intimacy allows partners to express themselves freely without fear of judgment or rejection. This kind of closeness doesn't develop overnight. It is built gradually, requiring patience, openness, and consistent effort. Unlike physical intimacy, which is often tied to physical touch and sexual closeness, emotional intimacy is primarily about connection on an emotional level. It encompasses shared secrets, hopes, and fears, as well as a willingness to support each other's dreams and vulnerabilities. When emotional intimacy is present, partners feel like they can be themselves in a way that feels comforting and secure. Emotional intimacy creates a safe space within the relationship, a refuge from the stresses and judgments of the outside world. In this space, each partner feels free to let down their guard, knowing that they are loved and accepted for who they truly are. This sense of emotional safety is vital, as it allows each person to be vulnerable, share their innermost thoughts, and connect on a level that goes beyond the day-to-day interactions. Vulnerability, the key to emotional intimacy. Vulnerability is at the heart of emotional intimacy. To foster true closeness, each partner must be willing to reveal their authentic self, including their fears, insecurities, and dreams. Vulnerability means taking the risk of showing parts of ourselves that we might usually keep hidden. It is the willingness to let down our defenses and allow our partner to see us without the masks we often wear in other areas of life. Vulnerability is not always easy. It can feel uncomfortable or even frightening. Many people fear being judged, rejected, or misunderstood. However, in a relationship founded on trust and respect, vulnerability becomes a bridge to deeper understanding and connection. By opening up, each partner invites the other into their inner world, creating a shared experience that fosters closeness and empathy. For instance, a partner might share a fear of failure or a past experience that shaped their self-esteem. In response, the other partner's empathetic listening and reassurance can create a moment of profound connection. When partners meet each other's vulnerability with kindness, it sends a message that says, "I am here for you, even with your insecurities and imperfections." This acceptance builds a foundation of trust that reinforces emotional intimacy. The act of sharing vulnerability should be mutual. When only one partner opens up while the other remains guarded, it can create an imbalance that hinders true closeness. Both partners need to feel safe enough to express their fears, dreams, and desires. As vulnerability is reciprocated, the relationship becomes a safe haven where both individuals can fully be themselves, free from the pressure to appear perfect or invulnerable. The role of communication in building emotional intimacy. Communication is the vehicle through which emotional intimacy is expressed and strengthened. When partners communicate openly and honestly, they create a shared emotional experience that fosters closeness and understanding. Open communication involves more than just sharing facts or discussing logistics. It requires a willingness to express feelings, listen actively, and explore each other's emotional landscapes. One of the most powerful forms of communication in building intimacy is the practice of active listening. Active listening means fully focusing on what the other person is saying without interrupting, judging, or planning a response. Instead of simply waiting for their turn to speak, the listener aims to truly understand their partner's thoughts and feelings. Active listening communicates empathy and respect, making the speaker feel valued and understood. In moments of emotional connection, partners should feel encouraged to go beyond surface-level conversations. Rather than focusing on routine matters like work or daily schedules, partners can ask each other reflective questions that invite deeper sharing. For instance, questions like, "What's something you've been thinking about lately?" Or "Is there anything you're excited or worried about right now?" can open up conversations that reveal each person's inner world. Open communication also involves sharing appreciation and affection regularly. Expressing gratitude for each other's presence and support can have a powerful effect on the relationship. Simple statements like, "I love the way you make me feel safe," or "I'm grateful to have you by my side," create moments of connection that deepen emotional intimacy. These expressions of love and appreciation remind each partner of the unique role they play in each other's lives, fostering a sense of closeness and warmth. Shared experiences and rituals, building emotional connection through togetherness. Shared experiences are one of the most powerful ways to build emotional intimacy. Whether it's small daily routines like having coffee together in the morning, or larger shared adventures like traveling or working on a project, these experiences create a sense of we-ness that strengthens the bond. Engaging in activities together allows partners to create memories, foster shared goals, and develop a sense of partnership that reinforces emotional intimacy. Rituals, in particular, can be powerful tools for building connection. These rituals don't have to be elaborate or time-consuming. They simply need to be meaningful to both partners. For some couples, a weekly date night or a nightly walk together might become a cherished ritual. Others might find that cooking a meal together or having a quiet moment of reflection before bed helps them feel close. These rituals create a consistent space for connection, allowing partners to reconnect amidst the busyness of daily life. Creating rituals that honor the relationship reinforces the idea that the relationship itself is a priority. These moments of togetherness communicate that each partner values the time they spend together, even during challenging times. By investing in shared rituals, partners build a foundation of positive experiences that deepen emotional intimacy and create lasting memories. Shared experiences also allow partners to explore new dimensions of each other's personalities and interests. For instance, trying a new hobby together or attending an event introduces each partner to new aspects of the other. This exploration can reignite curiosity and attraction, reminding partners of the qualities that initially drew them together. Experiencing life together, whether in big or small ways, cultivates a sense of shared journey, making each partner feel like a vital part of the other's life. The challenges of maintaining emotional intimacy over time. Emotional intimacy requires continuous nurturing, and over time, it can sometimes feel challenging to maintain. Familiarity can make it easy to fall into routines where deep emotional sharing takes a backseat to practical matters or daily responsibilities. As partners become more comfortable with each other, they may unintentionally take each other for granted, assuming that closeness will remain without conscious effort. Life stresses and responsibilities can also create barriers to intimacy. Work pressures, family obligations, and personal stress can reduce emotional availability, making it difficult for partners to connect. During these times, it's especially important to remain intentional about fostering emotional intimacy. Even small gestures like taking a few minutes to check in with each other or setting aside time to talk about each other's day can help maintain connection. Another challenge in maintaining emotional intimacy is the tendency to avoid difficult conversations. Some couples fear that addressing issues or vulnerabilities could create conflict or disrupt harmony, so they avoid certain topics. However, when partners withhold their true thoughts or feelings, it creates emotional distance. While difficult conversations may feel uncomfortable, addressing issues openly fosters deeper understanding and trust, making the relationship more resilient. To maintain emotional intimacy over time, couples can make a conscious commitment to continue exploring each other's inner worlds. Relationships are not static. Each partner grows and evolves over time, bringing new experiences, insights, and dreams. By remaining curious and interested in each other's personal growth, partners can keep emotional intimacy alive, avoiding the trap of complacency. Reigniting emotional intimacy, rekindling connection when it's lost. In long-term relationships, it's normal for emotional intimacy to ebb and flow. Certain periods of life may bring partners closer, while others create distance. When partners recognize that emotional intimacy has waned, they have the opportunity to rekindle their connection by intentionally prioritizing closeness and vulnerability. One way to rekindle emotional intimacy is through shared reflection. Taking time to reflect on meaningful memories, favorite shared experiences, or moments of growth can remind partners of the bond they share. This reflection can be as simple as looking through photos together, reminiscing about a favorite trip, or discussing the qualities they admire in each other. Reflecting on shared experiences reinforces the history and emotional depth of the relationship, reigniting feelings of warmth and closeness. Chapter 9: Growth and Change in Relationships. Evolving Together: How to Nurture Long-Term Connections. Change is an inevitable part of life, and relationships are no exception. Over time, both partners will grow, adapt, and face new experiences that shape who they are as individuals. This natural evolution can bring new depths to a relationship, but it can also introduce challenges. How do partners navigate change without losing their connection? How can they support each other's personal growth while preserving the bond they share? The answer lies in embracing change as an integral part of a healthy relationship, one that allows each partner to grow while fostering a dynamic, resilient connection. In this chapter, we'll explore the nature of change in relationships, the common phases couples experience as they evolve, and how to approach growth as a shared journey. By understanding how relationships naturally transform over time, partners can build a lasting connection that not only withstands change but thrives because of it. The nature of change in relationships. Relationships, like all living things, are constantly evolving. What begins as infatuation and excitement may gradually deepen into a more stable, committed partnership. As time goes on, life introduces new experiences, challenges, and transitions that shape each partner and, in turn, the relationship. Major milestones, such as moving in together, building a career, starting a family, or experiencing a loss, can significantly impact the dynamics of the relationship, altering how each partner feels and interacts within it. Personal growth and development are also inevitable as individuals. Each partner will face moments of introspection, periods of self-discovery, and shifts in perspective. This growth is healthy and natural, but it can also create tension if one partner grows in ways that feel unfamiliar to the other. While some couples fear change, believing it may lead them apart, embracing growth with openness allows both partners to explore new facets of themselves and the relationship. Instead of seeing change as a threat, it becomes an opportunity to deepen the connection. At its core, navigating change in a relationship requires adaptability. Flexibility allows partners to honor each other's growth and respond to the relationship's evolving needs without clinging to past dynamics. By remaining open to transformation, both partners reinforce the idea that their love is not limited to a particular phase or version of themselves. Rather, it's a commitment to growing together no matter what life brings. Recognizing the phases of relationship growth. Most relationships move through a series of phases, each with its own characteristics, challenges, and joys. Understanding these phases can help partners recognize when they're experiencing a natural transition rather than mistaking it for a decline in connection. While each relationship is unique, there are several common stages that couples may encounter. 1. Infatuation and attraction. This is the honeymoon phase, marked by excitement, passion, and a sense of novelty. During this time, partners focus on similarities, shared interests, and positive qualities. The infatuation phase creates a powerful bond, but it is often temporary, giving way to more stable forms of attachment. 2. Building trust and commitment. As the initial excitement settles, partners start building a deeper connection based on trust, communication, and shared values. This phase is about establishing a foundation for the relationship, creating mutual understanding, and forming habits of support and care. 3. Realization and adjustment. With time, partners begin to notice each other's quirks, habits, and flaws more clearly. This is a phase where differences become more apparent, and both individuals learn how to navigate these differences. It's a period of adjustment requiring compromise, empathy, and patience. 4. Personal growth and independence. In healthy relationships, each partner will eventually feel the need to pursue personal growth, exploring hobbies, passions, or goals independently. This phase encourages individuality within the relationship, allowing both partners to support each other's growth while maintaining their own identity. 5. Rediscovery and renewal. After years together, many couples find value in rediscovering each other with fresh eyes. This phase is about rekindling the connection, celebrating how each partner has grown, and reaffirming the commitment to one another. It's a time to revisit shared dreams, goals, and desires, creating a renewed sense of purpose in the relationship. These phases are not linear. Couples may cycle through them multiple times or experience them in different orders. Recognizing these stages allows partners to appreciate the relationship's evolution, understanding that each phase brings unique opportunities for connection and growth. Embracing each other's growth with curiosity. One of the most challenging aspects of relationship growth is accepting that both partners will change, sometimes in ways that feel unfamiliar or unexpected. Perhaps one partner discovers a passion for a new career, or the other becomes interested in new hobbies or goals. These changes can create feelings of insecurity or fear if one partner worries that they may no longer align. However, by approaching each other's growth with curiosity instead of fear, couples can foster a relationship that celebrates individual development. Curiosity involves a genuine interest in learning about each other's evolving identities. It means asking questions, showing enthusiasm for each other's interests, and supporting new endeavors. For instance, if a partner takes up a new hobby, the other might show interest by asking about it, attending events, or simply showing excitement for their partner's happiness. This curiosity communicates acceptance and respect, reinforcing that each partner's growth is valued within the relationship. It's also helpful to acknowledge that growth is a continuous process. Just as we evolve in response to new experiences, our interests, beliefs, and aspirations may shift over time. Rather than seeing change as a new version of a partner, it can be seen as an unfolding, an expansion of who they are. By approaching each other's growth with curiosity and respect, partners reinforce the understanding that they are committed not to a fixed version of each other but to a dynamic, evolving connection. Balancing individuality with togetherness. A healthy relationship requires a balance between individuality and togetherness. While shared experiences and mutual goals are essential, each partner's sense of self must be respected and nurtured. This balance allows each person to feel supported in their personal growth without feeling as though they have to sacrifice their independence. Balancing individuality with togetherness is often a delicate dance. If partners become too focused on shared goals or too enmeshed in each other's lives, they may feel a sense of loss of self, which can lead to resentment or dissatisfaction. On the other hand, if each person prioritizes their individual goals over the relationship, they may drift apart emotionally. Striking the right balance involves open communication and a shared commitment to both the relationship and personal growth. For example, if one partner wants to pursue a career change that requires time and focus, the other can offer support by acknowledging the importance of this goal and encouraging them to pursue it. However, it's equally important for both partners to ensure that the relationship's needs are being met. This might mean setting aside dedicated time for each other, creating rituals that reinforce togetherness, or finding ways to integrate each other into their individual pursuits. A relationship is most fulfilling when both partners feel free to pursue their passions while remaining deeply connected. This balance reinforces the idea that love doesn't mean merging identities but rather supporting each other's individuality within a shared commitment. Supporting each other through life transitions. Throughout life, partners will encounter significant transitions that challenge both the individual and the relationship. These transitions, such as moving to a new city, starting a family, experiencing loss, or entering retirement, often require adjustments in roles, routines, and priorities. Navigating these changes as a team strengthens the relationship and fosters a sense of resilience, helping each partner feel supported through life's inevitable shifts. Supporting each other through transitions involves both emotional and practical support. Emotional support means listening to each other's concerns, validating each other's feelings, and offering encouragement. For example, if one partner is facing a career shift, the other can provide reassurance, acknowledging that transitions are often accompanied by uncertainty and fear. Expressing confidence in their partner's abilities and offering a listening ear can provide the emotional grounding needed to navigate the transition with resilience. Practical support is equally important. During periods of change, life's daily responsibilities can become overwhelming, so partners can offer practical assistance by shouldering additional tasks or making adjustments that ease each other's burden. For instance, if one partner is managing a new job, the other might temporarily take on more household responsibilities, creating a supportive environment that reinforces their commitment to each other. Transitions also provide opportunities for shared growth. Partners who navigate change together build a relationship based on mutual trust, resilience, and adaptability. Each challenge faced together becomes a shared experience that deepens the bond, reminding both individuals of their ability to support and strengthen each other, even in difficult times. Growing together, setting and revisiting shared goals. In long-term relationships, shared goals and dreams offer a sense of purpose and direction. These shared aspirations create a bond that gives the relationship meaning, encouraging both partners to work together toward a common vision. However, just as individuals evolve, shared goals may shift over time. Revisiting and realigning these goals allows couples to stay connected and ensures that the relationship remains fulfilling for both partners. Setting shared goals can be as simple as discussing future hopes, such as travel plans, financial aspirations, or even personal milestones like health and wellness. For couples who are starting a family, shared goals might include parenting values or educational aspirations. For others, it could be the dream of a creative project, a joint business venture, or plans for retirement. By aligning on these aspirations, partners reinforce the idea that their relationship is a collaborative journey, moving toward a vision that brings them closer together. Revisiting goals regularly is equally important. Life's experiences and changes often reshape our perspectives, influencing our desires and priorities. By checking in on shared goals, partners can ensure they're on the same page, making adjustments that reflect their current needs and dreams. These discussions also provide an opportunity to express appreciation for each other's contributions, reinforcing the sense of unity that keeps the relationship strong. Setting and revisiting goals transforms growth from an individual pursuit into a shared adventure. This shared purpose creates a sense of partnership that sustains the relationship through life's many changes, ensuring that both partners feel valued and engaged in a relationship that evolves alongside them. Embracing change as part of a lasting connection. Growth and change are inevitable parts of any relationship, bringing challenges as well as opportunities for deeper connection. By embracing each other's growth with curiosity, balancing individuality with togetherness, supporting each other through transitions, and cultivating shared goals, partners can create a relationship that is both resilient and dynamic. Rather than fearing change, they learn to welcome it, recognizing that it's a natural part of life that can bring them closer if they approach it with openness and a shared commitment. In a lasting relationship, love isn't just about who each person was when they first met. It's about continuing to choose each other as they grow and evolve. Each phase of life offers new insights, dreams, and experiences that deepen the connection, creating a relationship that feels both steady and vibrant. Embracing change as a shared journey transforms the relationship into a space where both partners feel supported in their individual growth, and where love thrives not in spite of change but because of it. In the final chapter, we'll explore conflict resolution and the importance of rebuilding connection after moments of disagreement, providing strategies for maintaining a strong bond even when challenges arise. These skills are essential for nurturing a healthy, enduring relationship that remains resilient and fulfilling over time. Chapter 10: Conflict Resolution and Rebuilding Connection. Strategies for Reconnection and Forgiveness. Every relationship, no matter how strong, will encounter conflict. Disagreements, misunderstandings, and moments of tension are part of being in a close, intimate partnership. While conflict can sometimes feel unsettling, it's not inherently harmful. In fact, it can be a catalyst for growth, greater understanding, and deeper connection. What matters is not the presence of conflict but how couples handle it. Healthy conflict resolution enables partners to navigate disagreements in ways that respect each other's perspectives, acknowledge each other's feelings, and ultimately strengthen the bond between them. In this chapter, we'll explore the nature of conflict in relationships, common causes, and the principles of effective conflict resolution. We'll also examine how to repair and rebuild connection after a disagreement, highlighting the role of forgiveness, empathy, and open communication. When approached with a mindset of respect and collaboration, conflict becomes an opportunity to reconnect, ensuring that each challenge serves as a stepping stone to a more resilient relationship. Understanding conflict as an opportunity for growth. Conflict often arises because each partner brings their own unique set of values, beliefs, and experiences into the relationship. These differences can sometimes create friction, especially when expectations or needs clash. However, rather than viewing conflict as a threat to the relationship, it can be helpful to see it as an opportunity to learn more about each other. Disagreements provide insights into what matters most to each partner, revealing needs, values, and perspectives that might not surface during times of harmony. When conflict arises, it often signals an unmet need or a difference in expectations. For example, one partner might feel the need for more quality time, while the other might prioritize individual hobbies or alone time to recharge. In such cases, the conflict isn't just about spending time together. It's about feeling valued, respected, and understood. Recognizing the underlying needs behind disagreements allows couples to address the root cause rather than simply arguing about symptoms. This approach transforms conflict from a point of contention into a meaningful conversation about each partner's needs and how they can work together to fulfill them. Viewing conflict as a normal, even beneficial, part of relationships helps partners approach disagreements with a sense of openness and curiosity. Instead of seeing an argument as a sign of incompatibility or failure, they can embrace it as an opportunity to strengthen their connection, address issues proactively, and gain a deeper understanding of each other. Common causes of conflict in relationships. Conflict can stem from a wide range of sources, and while every relationship is unique, certain themes tend to recur. Understanding these common sources can help partners recognize potential triggers and navigate conflicts with greater empathy and patience. Among the most common causes of conflict are 1. Communication style differences. Each person has their own way of expressing thoughts and emotions. Some may be direct and assertive, while others may avoid confrontation, preferring to keep the peace. These differences in communication style can lead to misunderstandings if one partner feels unheard or if communication is avoided altogether. 2. Financial stress. Money issues often bring out fundamental values around security, spending, and saving. Disagreements over finances can create tension if partners don't share similar financial goals or if one partner feels financially burdened or restricted. 3. Work-life balance. Competing priorities between work and personal life can create conflict, especially if one partner feels that the other's job demands too much attention or if one feels unsupported in their own career goals. 4. Family and social relationships. Relationships with extended family, friends, or even ex-partners can sometimes create tension within the partnership. Conflicting expectations about family involvement or social boundaries can bring issues to the forefront, especially if partners feel that these external relationships infringe on their own connection. 5. Division of responsibilities. Household chores, parenting duties, and other responsibilities often become points of friction, especially if one partner feels they are carrying a disproportionate share of the load. By recognizing these common sources of conflict, partners can proactively address these areas, opening up discussions before they escalate into arguments. Understanding the root causes also enables partners to approach conflict with empathy, realizing that disagreements are often reflections of deeper needs and values. Principles of effective conflict resolution. Effective conflict resolution involves more than just avoiding confrontation or agreeing to disagree. It's about finding a way to understand each other's perspectives, communicate feelings openly, and create solutions that honor both partners' needs. When approached thoughtfully, conflict resolution strengthens the relationship, creating an environment of respect, collaboration, and trust. 1. Listening without judgment. One of the most important principles of conflict resolution is listening without interrupting, judging, or planning a rebuttal. Active listening involves truly hearing what the other person is saying, both verbally and emotionally. When partners listen with an open mind, they demonstrate respect, allowing each other to feel heard and validated. 2. Expressing feelings with I statements. Instead of assigning blame, using I statements allows each partner to express their own feelings and needs without making the other feel defensive. For example, saying, "I feel lonely when we don't spend time together" is more constructive than saying, "You never make time for me." I statements communicate emotions clearly while taking responsibility for one's own feelings. 3. Focusing on the present issue. Many conflicts escalate because unresolved grievances from the past get added to the current disagreement. Staying focused on the present issue prevents partners from dredging up past hurts or old arguments. Addressing one issue at a time helps keep the conversation productive and reduces the risk of overwhelm. 4. Practicing patience and taking breaks if needed. Conflict resolution can be emotionally intense, and sometimes taking a break is essential for maintaining perspective. If emotions start to run too high, agreeing to pause the conversation can prevent impulsive or hurtful remarks. During a break, each partner can take time to process their feelings, allowing them to return to the discussion with a calmer, more constructive mindset. 5. Collaborating on solutions. Instead of focusing on who's right or wrong, effective conflict resolution involves finding solutions that work for both partners. This requires a mindset of compromise and collaboration, where each partner is willing to make adjustments that meet both their own and each other's needs. Approaching conflict with these principles reinforces a sense of respect, trust, and teamwork. Rather than trying to win an argument, each partner is encouraged to work together toward mutual understanding, ensuring that both feel respected and valued. Rebuilding connection after conflict. Even with the best intentions, conflicts can leave emotional scars. Harsh words, misunderstandings, and hurt feelings can create temporary distance, making it difficult to reconnect immediately after an argument. However, the process of rebuilding connection is an essential part of conflict resolution. When partners take the time to repair and reconnect, they reinforce the idea that their relationship is a safe, nurturing space, even in the face of disagreements. The first step to rebuilding connection is offering and accepting sincere apologies. Apologies are powerful because they acknowledge the hurt caused and express remorse, even if the conflict itself remains unresolved. A genuine apology goes beyond saying "I'm sorry." It involves acknowledging the specific actions or words that may have hurt the other person. For instance, saying, "I'm sorry for interrupting you during our conversation. I realize that made you feel unheard," shows understanding and empathy. Apologies should be free from justifications or excuses. They focus solely on acknowledging the partner's feelings and taking responsibility. Forgiveness is also an essential part of rebuilding connection, but it's important to remember that forgiveness is a process, not an immediate decision. Forgiveness involves letting go of resentment and allowing the relationship to move forward without holding on to hurt. It doesn't mean ignoring or forgetting the conflict. Rather, it's a commitment to understanding and healing. When both partners are willing to forgive, they create a path toward reconciliation that respects each other's feelings and experiences. Physical reconnection, such as a comforting touch, hug, or even a simple handhold, can also facilitate the healing process. Physical closeness reminds both partners of their bond, reducing feelings of isolation and reinforcing the idea that, despite the disagreement, they are still on the same team. These small gestures of affection provide reassurance, helping both partners feel emotionally secure as they work through the lingering effects of conflict. The role of empathy in moving forward. Empathy is essential to conflict resolution and reconnection because it allows partners to see each other's perspectives. By understanding each other's feelings, motivations, and concerns, partners can move beyond the surface-level argument and connect on a deeper emotional level. Empathy fosters a sense of shared humanity, reducing defensiveness and creating a space where each person feels seen and valued. Practicing empathy involves truly placing oneself in the other's shoes. It requires setting aside one's own feelings temporarily and considering the other person's perspective. For instance, if one partner feels hurt because the other arrived late to a special event, empathy means understanding why that event was meaningful, acknowledging the disappointment, and validating the other's feelings. This empathy-driven approach makes it easier to reconnect and move forward, reinforcing the relationship's emotional foundation. Empathy also helps in managing recurring conflicts. By understanding each other's triggers and emotional responses, partners can be more mindful of how their words and actions impact the other. Recognizing each other's sensitivities allows both to approach difficult conversations with greater care, reducing the likelihood of conflict and fostering a sense of mutual respect. Creating a relationship ritual for reconnection. In relationships, conflict is not just about the disagreement itself but also about the steps taken afterward to repair the connection. To support this process, some couples create a ritual of reconnection, a unique habit or activity that symbolizes the rebuilding of emotional closeness after a conflict. This ritual can be as simple as setting aside a few minutes to talk quietly, sharing a comforting cup of tea, or going for a walk together. The purpose of the reconnection ritual is to signal that both partners are ready to move forward, reaffirming their commitment to each other. These moments of intentional togetherness help both partners transition from the emotional intensity of conflict to a space of unity, reinforcing the resilience of their bond. Over time, this ritual becomes a comforting practice that reminds both individuals of their shared commitment to nurturing the relationship, even during difficult times. Conflict as a pathway to deeper connection. When approached thoughtfully, conflict has the potential to bring couples closer, not further apart. Each resolved conflict leaves the relationship stronger, with both partners feeling more understood, valued, and secure in their connection. When partners face challenges together, they create a shared history of resilience, trust, and understanding that deepens emotional intimacy. Rather than fearing conflict, embracing it as a path to growth transforms the relationship into a dynamic, adaptive space where both partners feel safe to express themselves fully. In this environment, disagreements are not obstacles but opportunities, moments where each partner can learn more about the other, honor each other's needs, and reaffirm their commitment. Building a relationship that thrives through challenges. Conflict is an inevitable part of any meaningful relationship, but it doesn't have to create division. By approaching disagreements with empathy, open communication, and a commitment to reconnection, partners can build a relationship that thrives, even in the face of challenges. Conflict resolution becomes not just a means of ending an argument but a tool for deepening understanding, fostering resilience, and reinforcing trust. In a strong relationship, conflict is no longer feared or avoided. Instead, it's embraced as an integral part of connection, a reminder that growth, healing, and closeness emerge from every experience, even the difficult ones. By nurturing a relationship that can withstand conflict, partners create a bond that is both resilient and deeply fulfilling, capable of adapting to life's changes while preserving the love and respect that brought them together. With the tools of conflict resolution, empathy, and forgiveness, couples can face each disagreement as a step toward a more profound understanding of each other, ensuring that each challenge only strengthens the relationship and brings them closer together. Embracing a psychology-based approach to lasting relationships. Relationships are among the most rewarding and challenging aspects of life. They bring us joy, companionship, and purpose, but they also demand patience, understanding, and resilience. Throughout this book, we've explored the many layers of relationship psychology, from the foundations of love and attraction to the challenges of conflict, growth, and intimacy. Each chapter has provided tools and insights grounded in psychological research, offering a roadmap to navigate the complex dynamics of human connection. In this final chapter, we'll reflect on the journey of building and sustaining meaningful relationships. We'll consider the importance of maintaining a growth mindset in love, the power of empathy, and the enduring impact of a relationship founded on mutual respect, trust, and understanding. By taking a psychology-based approach to relationships, couples can cultivate a connection that not only withstands life's inevitable changes but thrives because of them. The journey of love and growth. A successful relationship is not a destination but an ongoing journey. The bond between two people evolves as they grow individually and together, each phase bringing new lessons and deeper understanding. In the beginning, relationships are often fueled by excitement, infatuation, and a powerful sense of connection. But as time goes on, love deepens into something more complex and resilient, built on trust, shared experiences, and a commitment to mutual growth. One of the most powerful tools for navigating this journey is a growth mindset. This mindset, popularized by psychologist Carol Dweck, involves viewing challenges and setbacks as opportunities for learning and development rather than as signs of failure. In relationships, a growth mindset encourages partners to see conflicts as chances to understand each other better, to treat each mistake as a learning experience, and to view each stage of the relationship as an opportunity for growth. With this mindset, love remains dynamic and evolving, capable of adapting to changes without losing its core. A growth mindset also reinforces the importance of continuous effort. Even the most loving relationships require regular care, attention, and intentionality. Just as we maintain our physical health or nurture our career ambitions, a relationship benefits from ongoing commitment and a willingness to work through challenges together. Each partner brings their unique experiences and perspectives, and it is through the regular practice of openness, empathy, and respect that they can sustain a fulfilling connection over time. The foundation of emotional security. At the heart of every enduring relationship is a foundation of emotional security. This security is built on trust, consistency, and a commitment to each other's well-being. When both partners feel emotionally secure, they can express themselves freely, knowing that they will be met with empathy and understanding. Emotional security creates a safe space where vulnerability is welcomed, allowing both partners to share their innermost thoughts, fears, and dreams without fear of judgment. Emotional security doesn't mean a relationship without conflict. Rather, it means that even in moments of disagreement, each partner trusts in the other's commitment to the relationship. They understand that conflict is a natural part of intimacy and that their bond is strong enough to withstand moments of friction. This security transforms the relationship into a sanctuary, a place where each partner feels respected, valued, and truly seen. To maintain emotional security, partners must nurture trust consistently. This trust is cultivated through honesty, transparency, and reliability. Small actions, such as following through on promises, communicating openly about feelings, and supporting each other's goals, reinforce the foundation of trust. Over time, these actions create a relationship where each partner feels safe to be themselves, knowing that they are loved for who they are. The power of empathy in relationships. Empathy is one of the most powerful forces in any relationship. It allows partners to step outside their own perspective and see the world through each other's eyes. This ability to understand and feel each other's experiences creates a profound sense of connection, reducing misunderstandings and fostering compassion. When empathy is present, partners feel valued, supported, and emotionally connected, even during challenging times. Empathy involves more than just listening. It requires active engagement and a willingness to suspend judgment. When a partner shares their thoughts or emotions, empathetic listening means offering validation rather than immediately trying to fix the problem or impose one's own viewpoint. It involves truly hearing the other person, recognizing the emotions behind their words, and responding in a way that makes them feel seen and understood. In relationships, empathy helps partners navigate disagreements without resentment or defensiveness. By striving to understand each other's perspective, they reduce the likelihood of misunderstandings and reinforce a sense of unity. Empathy reminds each partner that they are in this journey together, as equals who support and uplift each other. The power of empathy extends beyond moments of conflict. In daily interactions, empathy enhances the relationship's overall emotional climate, creating a warm and nurturing environment where both partners can thrive. Whether it's celebrating each other's successes or offering comfort during difficult times, empathy strengthens the emotional bond, creating a relationship that is both loving and resilient. Forgiveness and rebuilding after conflict. Conflict, as we've discussed, is an inevitable part of any relationship. But what truly defines a relationship is how partners respond to conflict and the steps they take to rebuild afterward. Forgiveness is a cornerstone of this rebuilding process. When one partner makes a mistake or says something hurtful, a willingness to forgive prevents resentment from building and allows the relationship to move forward. Forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting the issue or ignoring one's feelings. It involves acknowledging the hurt, expressing emotions openly, and making a conscious choice to let go of anger or resentment. In the process of forgiveness, both partners learn valuable lessons about each other and about what it means to support each other through difficult times. Forgiveness also reinforces the relationship's foundation of trust and empathy, reminding each partner that love is strong enough to overcome mistakes. The act of rebuilding connection after conflict reinforces the resilience of the relationship. By taking time to reconnect emotionally, offering apologies, and making amends, partners show their commitment to the relationship's well-being. Over time, These efforts create a history of resilience, strengthening the relationship with each resolved conflict. A relationship built on respect and appreciation. Respect and appreciation are the bedrock of a healthy, lasting relationship. Respect means valuing each other's opinions, honoring each other's boundaries, and treating each other with kindness, even in moments of disagreement. It involves a commitment to seeing each other as equals, recognizing that both individuals bring unique qualities and perspectives to the relationship. Respect ensures that both partners feel empowered and appreciated, fostering an environment of mutual growth and support. Appreciation, meanwhile, keeps the relationship vibrant and full of warmth. Expressing gratitude for each other's efforts, qualities, and presence creates a positive cycle of affection and goodwill. Small acts of appreciation, such as saying thank you, acknowledging each other's strengths, or showing affection through words and actions, reinforce the bond, reminding each partner of the love and admiration they have for each other. These gestures, while simple, have a powerful impact on the relationship's emotional climate, helping to sustain intimacy and connection over time. Creating a lasting partnership. A lasting relationship is built on more than love alone. It requires empathy, trust, respect, and a shared commitment to growth. Partners who cultivate these qualities create a relationship that feels like a true partnership, a place where both individuals can thrive and become their best selves. They understand that love is not static but a continuous journey, one that requires dedication, patience, and openness to change. By approaching the relationship as a shared journey, partners reinforce their commitment to facing life's challenges and joys together. Each phase of life brings new experiences, from the excitement of early romance to the deep comfort of a long-term partnership. Through each of these stages, a psychology-based approach helps partners stay grounded, allowing them to navigate the relationship's natural evolution with confidence and compassion. Moving forward together. As you move forward in your relationship, remember that building a meaningful connection is an ongoing process. Each moment of empathy, every act of forgiveness, and every expression of appreciation strengthens the bond, creating a relationship that is both resilient and deeply fulfilling. Love is a journey that evolves with each new experience, and by approaching it with an open heart and a willingness to grow, you can create a relationship that brings joy, connection, and support for years to come. This journey may not always be easy, but the rewards of a relationship built on trust, respect, and emotional intimacy are profound. By embracing these principles, you create a partnership that not only brings happiness but also enriches each partner's life in ways that extend far beyond the relationship itself. Together, you build a love that endures, a connection that is rooted in understanding, and a commitment that inspires both of you to become the best versions of yourselves. In this journey of love, may you find not only companionship but also a deep sense of purpose, joy, and fulfillment. Remember that each step, each moment of empathy, each act of forgiveness, and each shared dream brings you closer, deepening the bond that you share. May your relationship continue to grow, thrive, and flourish, bringing light and warmth to both of your lives.